Oh, there's some live. Oh no, I don't want to share the screen. I'm trying to. How do you? Oh man. Shit. Oh, thank you. Guess it- Wait. Got one person in here. Hello, people in the chat. It's me. I guess I waited too long. Huh? I am. They gave you a notification of? Huh? Can I keep it down? Okay, somebody else is in here. They left. What is that noise? They left. Maybe they was peeping in to see if I was here. Maybe they was peeping in to see if I was here. They're gonna go tell everybody. Oh, it's your phone because you got to turn the volume down. You got me on two phones. There's three people. I don't see nobody. I don't see nobody. You're too close. You got to turn your volume off. You're too close. You got to turn your volume off. Hello? Welcome to the live. I don't see nobody. I don't see nobody. Why do you have the volume on? You're sitting where you can hear me talk. Hmm. It says three people, but
Yesterday, what dining with Zion was doing, she couldn't see where the three people were. Can you see? Did you
yeah,
see my comment?
I see yours and I see mine. They must didn't say nothing. Because even if they say something, it would show up on my phone. Hey, we got another one. Hey, Lucy. Uh, it ain't doing nothing right now. I'm trying to wait for some more people to get here. Telling me it's 5, but maybe they'll say something. Say something so I know you in here. Yes, I can't go. Didn't you go to your page? You could go to your page and see yours. Hey, son. Thanks for stopping by. That's my youngest son, Lucy. In case you didn't know, or nobody told you. Hey, Rose. Welcome to the chat, everybody. Looks like it's just us. Ah, yeah, I guess you got a point there, Lucy. I appreciate y'all stopping by. I guess everybody in here know everybody, so that's a good thing. Is the sound clear? Okay. Thank you, Lucy. Something? Well, everybody, thank you for coming in. Those that are here, I really appreciate it. This is my very first chat, live chat. Um, hey, Leo, I'm a little nervous. I had it all planned out, what I was going to do, but like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan till you get punched in the face. But I thank you all for coming. Welcome to BHOPNATION TV. Guess y'all, some of y'all know me as Uncle David, Aunt Maddie's sidekick, but on this side of the pond, I'm a little different. Um, I'm the guy that the 57-year-old granddad who has finally figured out what it is he's supposed to be doing. Hey, Lucy, you need to retract your comment, please. You know, I had this all figured out. Mm. And it seemed like everything was going against me doing this. I tried to go on my phone and it just wouldn't work out. First, I couldn't find my notebook. I'm scrambling through the house looking for my notebook. Then I tried to come on live on the phone. That didn't work. I'm scrambling, I'm uploading stuff, trying to find something that'll work. And finally I found this. What is it? StreamYard. And so here I am. Hey Pumpkin, thank you for coming by. You know, huh? Hey, don't forget to thumbs up the video. I mean the chat. Um, well, I want to start off by talking about how I came up, what B Hop Nation is, and what it actually means. The B Hop is be happy on purpose. Now that came about, it was a few years ago. I was going through something. I lost my job, and I was struggling with my confidence and my self-esteem. And so one day I was talking to David, my son, De'Allen Ricks, and he was like, "Dad, maybe you need to start exercising and looking at listening to positive things." Well, it was at that point the student became the teacher. Now I've worked out the listening to the positive information. The exercise thing, well, that's still a work in progress. But as I started to go through YouTube and listen to people, I came across Les Brown, who is a motivational speaker. A lot of y'all may know him as Gladys Knight's ex-husband, but he said something in one of his videos that kind of stuck in my head, and it was dedicate your life to a cause larger than yourself. And for some reason, that quote stuck with me. And I also learned that as you spend time, quiet time, your ideas will come to you. So I was laying across the bed, and all of a sudden, something in my head just said, be happy on purpose. Be happy on purpose. And I'm like, okay. So that's how it started as B Hop. And then that just seemed a little corny. And again, David came along. He was like, hey, add nation to it. And here it is, B Hop Nation, which is a concept that I came up with that what I want to do is eventually I want to be able to give back to the community, um, do different events. I also want to expand the channel, the BHOPNATION TV, where I want to sit down and interview people that are giving back to the community, not just local people. Eventually, I want to expand to national, maybe international. Just sitting down, talking to people, getting information, sharing the information, and grow from there. Uh, but and also as I was going through YouTube and I came across a lot of information, a lot of people that spoke to me. There was a guy named Jim Rohn who said that his quote was, "Success is achieved." Uh, I had it all written down. Well, success is success is achieved through the service of others, not at the expense of others. Which really truly means, or what it means to me, is that if you help people, the more people you help, the more people that, or the more you get back. And I won't be doing what I do to receive. It's, I've always been the eternal optimist, always the one that's saying, hey, you can do this, you can do that. Let's look for the good in this and the good in that. And that's how I've always been. And there were times when I, you know, felt a little down and got away from it. And so I became a sort of a hypocrite because here I was trying to get people to encourage people to step out and be fearless and follow their dream and serve your purpose. But yet here I am sitting back, not doing this. And like right now, I am so uncomfortable. But one thing that I've heard is that in order to be successful, you have to be get used to being uncomfortable. It just is because things aren't going to always go right. Things aren't always going to be the way you want it to be, and or as you plan. As I found out tonight, as I was trying to get started, I wanted to start at 7 o'clock. That was the plan all day. I said 7 o'clock. I'm going to start, and I'm going to be ready. Well, that didn't work out too good. But once again, here I am, and I thank everybody that's here. I thank y'all for coming in. It's greatly appreciated. And the mission statement for BHOP Nation is help the helpless, inspire the uninspired, and encourage the discouraged. It's what I've learned is that my life is not just about me. It's about all the people that I have met, all the people that I will meet in along this journey called life. And what kind of effect will I have? Will I be a passing thought or a lasting memory? You know, will they just forget who I am and keep moving, or will there be something that I said or did that will always stick in their mind, and they'll pass that forward? Because that's what it's all about. It's all about paying it forward, you know, and just spreading the word. It's like that commercial. I'll tell two friends, they'll tell two friends, and so on and so on. I probably dating myself and my age because I'm sure some of y'all have no idea what that commercial is. It was an old, I think, shampoo commercial back way back when. But and eventually during the chats, I'll assign moderators. Now I know that the moderators are supposed to keep out the trolls, but I'm not worried about trolls. They're welcome to come in too, because if they see something that I'm doing or saying that's not right, they can give feedback. I'm not worried about what they'll say about me because what I've done, I've learned to accept my flaws. And so because I've accepted my flaws, there's really nothing that they can say because I really used to worry about what will people think? What would they say? What are they saying about me? You know, I heard the whispers. That's fine. That's cool. I'm all right with it now. I really am. I know that there are things that I need to get done as far as my physical appearance. Um, I need to, as far as my spiritual experience, I need to do that and get that together. You know, excuse but excuse me. I just got thrown off a little bit. Where was I? This. I'm sorry, y'all. This is the very first one, and like I said, I am nervous, but as they say, you have to feel the fear and do it anyway. I can't tell people that they should do it and then I don't do it. So uh, and there's something else another quote that I heard from. There's a lady, a motivational speaker, her name is Lisa Nichols, and she said that you should be able to live your life with nothing to hide, nothing to protect, nothing to prove, and nothing to defend. Which means you have to be able to tell your story and not be ashamed of your story because there's somebody out there that needs to hear your story and they need to hear it from you and not somebody else. So part of my story has been over the years, when even as a kid, I neglected my dental work. And it's been a struggle as an adult. And as I said, I'm 57 now, and I've finally figured out life and what I need to do. So that's something that I'm working on. I've had some work done. I need more, but in time it'll come. So I David. So it'll come. I'm not worried about that. My job is to do the work, and whatever I need will come. That is something I learned about the law of attraction. Also, November 13th, 2010. That was a very interesting day. It was a Saturday night, and I was sitting on the bed. I was playing Nintendo, no, playing a PlayStation, playing the game, and I kept feeling this little feeling I guess in my stomach, and I'm like, what is this feeling? It was irritating. It wasn't painful. It was just irritating. So I just kept doing what I was doing, and then it was like, okay, wait a minute. It kept going. So I laid down across the bed, and I'm like, okay, then that didn't work. So I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, maybe I need to go to the doctor. Now, before I go on with this, there's one little thing I need to say. If you ever have a medical emergency, call 911 first. I, that's what you should do. Call 911. Now, as I was sitting there and I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna call. I went and told my son I'm gonna call the ambulance, and then I heard this voice that said, "Hey, you know, if you ever had to go to the hospital, you want to make sure you got on clean underwear." Well, it was laundry time. And so what I did was I went and hand washed out a pair of underwear. And this is a true story, I promise you. And, you know, anybody that's from the hood knows that when you got to dry something and you're not going to put one piece in the dryer, you put it on the fan. So hung the underwear on the fan. In the meantime, I went and got in the shower. Now all this is while this whatever this is going on inside my stomach. I have no clue what's happening. So after I get myself together, I put my clothes on. I called 911. They say leave the front door open so that people can get in. So I'm sitting in the dining room I'm sitting at the dining room table, and they knock on the door and they come in. So they come in, it's maybe like five of them. And so they're just standing around, and the guy's hooking up the machine. He hooked me up to the EKG machine, and he pushes the button, and the little paper comes out, and he looks at the machine. He looks up at because he was new, so he looks at the other EMT. Then he looks at me. So the guy's like, "What happened?" So they look at the paper. He said, "No, no, no. Let's do this again." So they pushed the button again, and they ran the little thing, and the paper comes out. They looking all crazy. Excuse me, and he's looking all crazy. And he says, "Mr. Ricks, you're having a heart attack." Well, my first reaction is, "Hey, y'all, you heard what the guy said. I'm having a heart attack. We need to get up out of here." So they bring in the little chair because they didn't bring the stretcher out. They brought the little chair in, and they sit me in the chair. They strap me in, put the sheet over me and everything. And so the lady, I'm going out, and of course, you got your nosy neighbors. I mean, she's looking right at me. They ain't never said nothing to me the whole time. We've been there about a year, maybe. And she's like, "Hey, you okay?" Being nosy. So I didn't say anything. So they put me in the ambulance. And so I'm riding in the ambulance, and the guy's like, "Well, usually people will panic and all that." I said, "Well, this is my first time riding on the ambulance. So I need to know what's going on." I said, if you had come in there and I had been acting all stupid and crazy, then you probably would have given me some kind of medication to knock me out. And I wanted to see as much as I could see and what was going on. So I would be able to tell everybody what's happening. So they take me to Washington Venice Hospital, and they roll me in, they take me in the triage, and the lady says, "Okay, you need to take off all your clothes." And I'm like, "All of them? Everything?" She's like, "Yes, everything." So I look at her and I say, "If I'd have known you was going to do this, I would have just sat right in the dining room waiting for them butt naked." But, that was my way of coping because, truth be told, I was scared. But there was something in me that wouldn't let me be deathly afraid. So as I'm in there and they're working on me and they're taking my pressure, and they're like, "Do you smoke? Do you drink?" The usual questions. So they finally call the doctor. He walks in, he looks at the screen, and he says, "Is this real?" And the nurse like, "Yeah." And I could tell something was wrong because when he walked in, his face went flush. I mean, he was pale. So he says, "Run it again." So they run my pressure again. Now it's 200 over two something over two something. All of a sudden, they're on the phone, they're calling people, they wheel me down to the cath lab. So I'm down in the cath lab, and I'm the EMT was like, "Well, can we go?" Because they didn't have nothing to do. So I was like, "Doc, this is my posse. Let them come on." Now I'm still cracking jokes because you know I'm scared, and the only way that I could cope was to joke about it. So I get down to the cath lab, and they got me laying on the table, and they hook the screen up, and I can see like what's going on inside my chest. So then the guy gets ready to shave me because when they used to go through your groin. So the guy shaves, this one side of my pubic area, and the doctor comes in and says, "No, no, 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 we're gonna go through the wrist." So I asked the guy, I'm like, "Hey, dude, since you shave this side, can you even me up on the other side?" And he was like, "No." So I get ready to say something, and I got to thinking, I'm down here by myself. and they have all this access to all this medication. I probably don't want to talk too much trash. So I didn't. So the doctor, he takes the needle and or whatever it was, and he goes inside my wrist and he's pushing and he's grunting and he's pushing. And and I could still feel this uncomfortable feeling. And I'm like, And I mean, and I could actually feel whatever it was going through my vein. I guess it was in my artery. So he's pushing and he's pushing and he's grunting and he's pushing. And he says, well, at some point, when I get rid of the blockage, you're gonna feel a lot better. Well, sure enough, maybe 10, 15 seconds after he said that, I felt the blockage leave. And I felt like new. So I'm laying there and I start crying. Yeah, I did. And I think that was once the adrenaline had started to wear off and I realized that, it could have went a different direction. And, he's like, well, do you smoke? And I'm like, no, I quit. He said, well, when did you quit? I said, well, probably about uh, maybe 3 hours ago, because that's about the time from the time that I called the ambulance to the time that I went through there. Maybe it was 3 or 4 hours. I don't know how long it was. I don't remember. I just know that I wasn't smoking anymore. And plus I had gotten a little threat from my daughter, and she told me that if she ever caught me with another cigarette, it would be a situation. So I think her saying that scared me more than the doctor saying that. So I haven't had a cigarette since then. And then but the thing with that was, I was working, I was driving a truck, and I would see people smoking, and it just looked like it was so good. It was almost like they were teasing me. But I knew that I had to. That was when I first stopped, and it was new to me. Now it's been 9 years. It'll be 10 years next year. In fact, it'll be 9 years in a few days. What's the day? The 8th. In about 5 days, it'll be, yeah, 9 years. And I think it was a life changing experience. Um, it taught me a lot. It taught me not to take things for granted. Um, and I don't. uh, as I said, I am the eternal optimist. I'm always looking for the good in something and what's right. And it is hard sometimes. I try not to complain. Because people that complain, if you get up and when your alarm clock goes off, or when you wake up and the first thing you can do is complain about something, you have missed the big picture. Because if you think about it, when you open your eyes and your mind starts working, the first thing you should say is thank you. You should be grateful that you're awake, that you're able to even talk about anything. And if you start your day complaining, your whole day will probably be a day that you complain about. Because first thing you'll complain about, you had to get up. The bathroom floor is cold. I spilled toothpaste in the sink. Now I got to get in the car. The car is cold and it's raining. I mean, your whole day you'll get to work and you don't want to be there. Then you'll get out of work and you're on your way home and you're complaining about the traffic. You complain about the people at work. You get home, you complain about the kids. You complain about your spouse. You just complain, complain, complain. And you have missed the big picture. You have completed an entire day, something that others weren't so fortunate to do. Not everybody, I'm sure when they go to sleep at night, their plan is to wake up the next morning and go through their day, whatever it is. But not everybody is afforded that opportunity. So you should always be grateful. Grateful. I don't care if where it is you live, you've got a roof. If you have a roof over your head, you should be grateful. If you have food to eat, clothes to wear, if you have an income, no matter how small or minute it is, or how outdated your clothes or your car is, should be happy, grateful, have an attitude of gratitude, and share it. My one of my goals when I get up and start my day, one of my goals is to have a positive effect on somebody, at least one person every day, to change the direction of their day in a positive way. That's every day. I try to do that. Whether it's whether it's a joke, whether it's a gesture, anything. Sometimes, and I speak to everybody. My wife, she says I'm too friendly. I don't know what that is. I don't know what too friendly is. You know, I used to spend my summers down in North Carolina, and I would walk down the street, and people would just speak. They wave, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm looking because I don't know you. And then I would ride with my uncle, and I would come back home, and I'm like, "Mom, Uncle Ben know everybody." And he'd be like, "Hey, babe. Hey, Suge. Hey, so and so. Hey, man." But that was that Southern hospitality, and that's something that has stuck with me. You know, throughout my entire life, I'll speak to anybody. I don't care, man, woman, child. I just speak. I'll hold a conversation. My dad, we would go somewhere, and he would just if you walk past and saw him talking, you would think that he'd known this person for who knows how long. And I'd be like, Daddy, who was that? I don't know. And that's just something that I picked up because you never know what you can learn from somebody. I remember I was in junior high school, and there was a guy sitting on the bench, and I was waiting for the bus, and I'm just sitting there, and we had a random conversation. And I remember him telling me that Franklin Roosevelt was the first president to have a fireside chat. I'm like, why is he telling me this? And I had no idea. But it was there. He had planted the seed. So maybe a few weeks or a month later, I was in my history class. And lo and behold, that was the question. What president was the first one to have a fireside chat? And I look around the class, nobody's raising their hand. Boom, I got this. Franklin Roosevelt. He was like, "You're absolutely right." Well, I was the student of the think of the student of the week for that. That one little thing. And from that point on, it taught me that you can learn anything from anybody. If you just listen and pay attention. My kids used to tell me that, you know, Dad just talk. He just talk. He just talk. And to this day, they still do the same thing. They'll say something, and here I come with this conversation, and I'm just yap 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 yap. And they sitting there, they looking, they want to say something. Usually they do, but that's just me. That's who I am. That's who I've always been. And like I said, if I can change the course of somebody's day in a positive way, then I'm good. I really am. I wake up every morning with that is one of my missions in life. So um let's see who's in here. Let's- Yeah, I really appreciate y'all. You all have no idea how much I appreciate y'all coming in here and sharing, you know, your time with me. It is greatly appreciated. Um, and as I said, as time goes, it'll get better. There'll be more videos, more lives. Because I think I kind of like this, for as uncomfortable as it feels, and you could probably hear the nervousness in my voice, but and not think that I'm that uncomfortable. But trust me, I am. And you would think that if I could stand up in front of a bunch of people that I don't know and sing karaoke, as if I am whoever it is in a song that I'm singing, that I could sit in front of this camera because it's not the same. Like when I'm sitting with Aunt Maddie, I guess because I'm not talking about me. That's the thing. If I'm talking about me, I rarely talk about me. And I guess that's what this is. This is me talking about me, sharing me with people, strangers. But maybe there's some, and I know for sure, not maybe, that there's somebody out here that needs to hear my voice. I may give a message that somebody else has said, but they need to hear it from me. And you know, I saw something today when I stopped this morning after I dropped one of my clients off, and I stopped at McDonald's to use the restroom. And when I got out the van, there was the truck was delivering the stuff to McDonald's. And on the door, the first thing I saw was destined for greatness. And I felt like that sign was talking to me that I'm somehow destined for greatness. And I'm gonna tell y'all something, and I'm not saying this to be braggadocious or conceited, but the truth is, I was born to be great. Now, I used to think it and I used to believe it, but now I know it. And when you know something, see, your thoughts and your beliefs can be manipulated and changed. You can change your mind, you can change how you feel about something. But once you know something, once it is here and here, they can't take that from you. You will always know it. And this is something that I know. Now, I don't know how great I'm supposed to be, but I just know that my purpose in life was not to be born, work, have a family, and die. There's something else that I'm supposed to be doing. And this is a part of it. This this right here, this moment right here. Everything that I've done, everything that I've been through, everything that I've seen, everybody that I've talked to, every message that I've heard has prepared me for this. And so here I am. If y'all can see my legs, they're shaking. I'm nervous. I'm scared, but I have to do this. I have to share my story, share myself, share whatever it is that I learned along the journey. Now, have I accomplished things that I want to? Some, yes. Some, no. But as I go through this journey, I'm willing. I want to share it with you all. I want to take y'all along on this journey. And I want to, you know, be a part of you all's journey as well, because there's it's a great big world out here, and there's so many people. You know, you never know who you'll meet. You never know what message you'll get. So I'm just a vessel, and this platform, BHOP Nation, is the vehicle that I will use to expand and teach and learn and give. That's me. It's always been me. It's something that I got from my mother. She was always giving. People. I remember as a kid, we lived across the street from the playground, and you know, people would come, and the kids, we would come over, we'd sit on the steps, and my mother would come out, and I'd be sitting there like, oh, goodness, here she comes. But she was everybody's grandmother, aunt, godmother, whatever. And they were attracted to her, and which means they were attracted, to the house. And I tend to think that it was the water spigot outside that we hooked up the water hose and people would come across it to drink water. I kind of think that's what it was. But no, in all seriousness though, I I had a great childhood. I lived in a neighborhood that even now, if I as I see the people that I grew up with, it's almost like we pick up where we left off at. We'll always be family. We'll always be friends. And we may not talk to each other every day. We may not see each other from time to time, but the memories that they have given me are memories that will last me a lifetime. Yeah, and like I said, I just want to share me with you all. And as time goes on, there'll be more stuff to talk about. Um, but now I'm going to start wrapping it up. I really, really, really appreciate those that came in, those that stayed, those that couldn't stay. It's okay. I'm all right. If I had two people in here, I'm good because that's two more people than maybe would have been somewhere else. So I sincerely appreciate it. And maybe they didn't have time, or they'll come back and they'll watch the rebroadcast once I'm gone. But again, I really appreciate you all. And I'm gonna what I want to do is I just want to tell you to be happy on purpose, and also know that I believe in you and believe in you too. Again, I thank you. You can catch me, follow me on Instagram at BHOPNation. I'm on Twitter at BHOPNation, the one with the heart. I think there's one or two on Instagram that's BHOPNation, but mine is BHOPNation. It's got the little purple heart. So that's how you'll know me. You can find me there. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in here. Hold on. Okay. Let's see something with this little thing. I think I can. Let's see. Yeah, this is all new. Y'all just bear with me. Uh-oh. Hey, Brenda. Yeah, that's not work. Oh, damn, did. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. That's my Instagram and Twitter. So once again, everybody, thank you so much. You all don't know how much this means. Um, once well, now I got to kill some time, right? Because I said I was going to do an hour. I wish I'd have brought my notebook with me. Oh, wait, excuse me 1 second. That's not it. Ah, excuse me. Y'all talk amongst each other. All right, here we go. Before I go, I want to share something that I wrote a while back, and it's called Today. Today, I will overcome my fears. I will do the things I'm encouraging others to do. Today, I will stop walking to the edge of the cliff and then turn around and walk away. Today, I will finally accept my flaws, understanding that once I accept my flaws, it won't matter what others say or think about me. I will stand up to myself, inside myself, for myself. Today, I will summon the courage to say that which I cannot say, do what I know I must do. I will step out of the shadow of self-doubt, no longer afraid to be who, no longer afraid to be who I was created to be. I will allow my light to shine always at its brightest. Now I wrote that, gosh, man, maybe 6 months, 7 months ago, and I wouldn't read it anymore after I wrote it because I knew that once I started reading it and once I shared it, it would mean that I was committed to do what it is that's on this paper, committed to start going after my dream, accomplishing my goals. And I figured as long as I didn't read this and as long as I didn't share it, it really didn't mean anything. But tonight, as I was sitting here, I got to thinking, it's time for me to step up and make the necessary changes and do what I need to do and to accomplish my goals and to serve my purpose. So tonight is the beginning of a new chapter in my life, right here, right now. And so I thank you all again for coming. I really appreciate the love that was shown. I wish you all nothing but success and happiness, and hopefully we can grow together and learn from each other and teach each other. So I thank you all again. Um, I still got a minute and a half left. Sheesh. So who else is in? Who's still in here? That brave enough to hang around? Life with Kennedy, Brenda. I know Lucy be here because that's just Lucy. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of y'all. I really do. Oh, thank you. I well, thank you, Brenda. I'm trying. I'm gonna do my best and give my best. You know, I'm not perfect. None of us are, but we're imperfect people in an imperfect world. But together we can make something. So once again, I thank y'all for coming by. Once again, be happy on purpose and know that I believe in you too. Thank you. Good night. Fade away. Bye.